mean, welcome back to another one of these shows that we do all the time. It's just like it's something that happens now. We kind of just do it. We do it. Why do we do it? Why do we do it, Rajan?
Just to do it.
Because we fucking like to do it.
Because Nike, just do it.
We like to do it. We like to do it. It's fun. It's fun. It's a space that we can share creatively. It's a space that we can. We're getting right into it this episode.
Oh yeah.
The energy's high. We're getting right into it.
Yeah.
It's a space that we can share what we think. It's a space that we can talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Yeah, it's where we're here from you guys. It's where we hear everything.
Yeah, I mean, and some of you guys are just here for whatever.
It's a space where we can spend our money in better ways.
It's a journey. It's a journey for us.
It's a slow but steady journey.
It's a journey that we'll be on. and you know what? You know, as much as it's our dream to make a career out of this and be able to do this all the time.
We do it just because we love it.
This is all we do. It's a way for us to just chronicle everything that we go through every day. And I know we talk about a lot of
random shit.
A lot of random shit. A lot of social media shit that, like, I wouldn't say no one cares about. It's interesting. We think it's interesting to talk about. But do we genuinely care?
No, but we like to give our opinions on how we view it.
But we have opinions on it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here to do. But there's also a lot of other shit that goes on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that goes on.
I agree.
You know? Today
we, we're going to address the shiesty in the room.
Honestly, yeah, we got the shiesty in the room. I'm just going to make it clear here. I don't have any topics for today.
I got a list
I was planning on it if you were okay with it, and then we didn't discuss anything about this podcast going into it. This is a fucking spitball of a podcast.
Yeah,
but sometimes those are the best ones. I kind of want to go on a little deep dive here,
dude. Go ahead, run it. I'll wait for my thing. I'll leave it here.
I want like everyone's opinion here.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm saying I'll wait on this.
Well, let's address the elephant in the room first.
Cameraman Ja is in front of the camera.
Cameraman Ja is here.
He's awake this time.
Shiesty on. He's ready. Look at this guy go.
We're good over here.
Give us some words.
Yeah,
What's your words of wisdom?
Give us the rundown. Tell the people what you do, kind of how you got involved with everything that you're doing, and
I'm wet now.
Nice. That is crazy. Go ahead.
I got involved because this man right here wanted me to help him out on the videos, being a camera guy behind the camera, and helping out with the videos.
Yeah, so the
podcast.
So official cameraman Ja face reveal. Come on, let's do it.
Pull the headphones off real quick. Pull the shiesty off.
Take the shiesty off.
Cameraman Ja, woo!
This guy thinks he's a Florida man or something. There he is.
Oh,
there's that beautiful
Hispanic
face that we all want to see. Here it is, cameraman Ja, baby.
Oh shit!
And this is the brother of our long time, all the time co-host.
Yes, sir. But yes,
I'm ImTheReca, aka ImTheReca, aka Reca, Rajan, whatever you want to call him. He's here. He's here every time, and here he is, the brother.
So
Ja, cameraman Ja, Joaquin, whatever you want to call him.
Many names as well.
Yeah. I'm very stoked to be on here.
I had a long talk with you, Rajan, recently.
Yeah, very true. You want to go? You're gonna go into that?
We're not going to go into details.
I want to make sure before.
We're not going to make it like we're not going to go into the who and what's and hows.
Yeah, but
I want to talk a little bit about mental health here this episode.
Yeah,
I feel like we've touched on it, but I feel like we need to address this a little bit more.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, and
I think this is something that we could all three get in on.
Yeah,
too.
I
figured this is a good topic
to
for
preface
all of us.
it before we get into it. I had mentioned this to you before about doing an episode about it. We've talked about doing an episode sort of like this stuff for a while, but we wanted to find the right time to do it. Obviously, you're bringing it up, so I guess this is the time. I wanted it to be on your own thing. Like I said, I don't have any, and I'm not saying issue. When I say issue, I use that word very lightly. I mean as in like I don't have anything that goes on in my head that I can't deal with on my own time. So for people that do, if you need the help for it, I don't know. We'll put some down below for anybody who's looking to get into that, realm of their headspace and try to find help for what they need to do and stuff like that. So we'll try to look into that and figure out how to do that for people. But go ahead with what you're going to go on.
I want to start this off with something I thought about a lot recently.
There you go.
this is something we can relate to social media too,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is something we talk about a lot. The whole Sigma culture thing, the Sigma grind set. We got Patrick Bateman, Homelander, Soldier Boy, all these characters. There's a lot of things we relate to in social media now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure any man who's watching this, even women too, I don't know what kind of things they're seeing on their recommended pages and shit, but just from what I've been seeing, there's a lot of things where we've gotten into a sort of slump here. There's a lot of they call it core now. Have you heard of core?
I've heard of different cores. Core, I have not. No.
Core is just, it's pretty much. Drop your phone there, buddy.
Go ahead. Leave it there. Just leave it there. Go ahead. What were you saying?
You can grab it. But there's it's pretty much just a lot of depressing shit that a lot of these characters that many of us relate to are saying now, and I think there's a lot of ups and downs to this whole culture that we're in now. I think we're very overstimulated.
Yeah. A lot of desensitization too.
I think we see too much.
Yeah.
I think we see too much, and I think there's value in personal connections that we're not getting as much as we normally can because we're so
invested
in trying to find a way to relate and in a way that we can hide it from our loved ones.
Yeah.
In a way that we can go on this community online and make comments and posts with people that, in all of our power, we can interact with once and, never see again.
Yeah, you kind of relate for a few brief moments.
Yeah, you can give a brief moment and then you could shut it all down again.
Okay.
And just push it away.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what is stemming a lot of mental issues in the youth in our age group, especially. Sorry.
All right.
But I think we need to I want to say reverse it, but there's a lot of ways that we can relate to this stuff in a good way and find ourselves a community of people that feel the same way and feel like we're not alone.
Yeah.
But I feel like to truly not be alone, you need to find the people you love and connect with them more.
Okay. Yeah, that's real.
And not go on that route of going online and making these posts and these comments. And this is shit that I do all the time. So
yeah.
It's a little bit like follow your own advice type of thing, but it's just it's something I've been thinking about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we've lost the like the interpersonal connections between actual people in our lives that we should be talking to more and telling them more how we feel.
Yeah. And
we're just not doing it.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it comes a lot from, social media, and obviously, depending on how you use social media, it can be, like there's certain things like Reddit where it's like we see all the time. There's pages dedicated on like TikTok, for example, or YouTube or whatever, where it's reading off shit that people posted on Reddit, asking for advice on, and waiting for responses instead of just going and talking to somebody that you could talk to in person. People are, which in some senses Reddit can be useful for, finding out certain information, but your first option should be in-person interaction with, whether it's a loved one, a friend, even honestly, this might sound crazy, but sometimes for some people, this isn't for everybody, but telling a random stranger who's just willing to listen for a little bit, whether it's a professional or just somebody on the street you happen to cut up a conversation with, kind of is easier to do because, they
don't have bias.
Exactly. There's no bias. There's no prerequisite information that they have about you. It's just they're seeing you as a person that is interacting with them, and they're just going to tell you what, they feel is, the best thing that they could tell you. Obviously, a professional would be, the best person that would do that. But again, like a stranger, you don't have to worry about hearing about it ever again afterward, or, you know, worrying about what's going on afterward. But sometimes people just need to vent to someone. I think that, like, it sounds crazy, but like I said, a stranger might be sometimes the best option for certain people. Not always, but.
I'm going to give a little reference here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyone here seen Blade Runner 2049?
No, I haven't, so I can't say
I've
it.
seen
But
clips of it. Yeah.
one of the quotes that stood out to me was from Officer Deckard, who's from the original movie Blade Runner.
Yeah.
He says, sometimes to love someone, you have to be a stranger.
That's kind of true.
And to that, it's like, as much as I appreciate you and appreciate all of my close friends who give me input, as much as they try to be unbiased, they're predisposed to a little bit of bias. Like,
because they know you and they want to.
Like, you and all my other friends, you want to be on my side.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to reach out and find someone who's, I don't want to say not on your side, but someone who can
won't side with you fully.
Who can see it from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
And to sidetrack here again, which we're probably going to do a lot this
Yeah,
episode,
that's
because
fine.
this is a very, very complex topic, and we're not going to be able to cover everything here on one podcast.
No, for sure, no way.
But I still think it's important to do this.
Yeah.
You have to, if you're going to go see a professional, or like we said, see someone who's somewhat of a stranger to you, if you really want to get help, which I know everyone does.
Yeah.
In the shittiest situation, you want to get help. If you're going to go get help, give the most unbiased story you possibly can about everything that's going on in your life.
Yeah.
Even the deepest mental struggles you have. You don't want to sit there and play the victim the whole time.
No.
Which, even if you do, which a lot of people do, they're gonna see through it. They're professionals for a reason. Mm-hmm. But just try and just say it how it is.
Yeah.
Say it how it is. I think one of the big things is recognizing what you did wrong.
Wrong or could be wrong, you know?
And whether this is in any type of relationship, friends, family, girlfriend,
even
boyfriend,
personal, just with yourself.
Yourself is the biggest one. That's the biggest one right there.
Yeah.
I know a lot of what we're going through now is a lot of self-struggles.
Yeah.
And there's people who, there's I know it's been said 1,000 times, there's a stigma around mental health.
Yeah.
With men especially.
Mm-hmm.
And we're stuck in this, men have to be strong, we can't show our emotions, like,
pussy.
whatever. Yeah. Exactly. You don't want to be a pussy.
Yeah.
But I think I've kind of come to realize that the biggest pussy, to put it bluntly, is the one who isn't willing to face their problems.
Yeah, facts.
And if you're too afraid of yourself, then how are you supposed to be bold to anyone else?
Yeah. I think that's a really good point, because, like you mentioned, you know, how can anybody else view you in a way that you want to if, you know, you truly don't even do that, you know? Like, a lot of times we'll see people talk about, you know, when it comes to, like, bullying of any sort or something like that, people are like, oh, it's always stemmed from something going on at home, or someone did something to them, or whatever it may be, and that's the reason that so-and-so is the way they are. So I guess it could be related the same way as, like, if someone all the time is, you know, kind of, you know, putting on this facade of, oh, I'm all this, all that, or da-da-da-da, but they don't truly think that in their head, everybody knows. It's just, you might not think that because you're so set on putting that in your head that that's what you start to think is your actual reality.
If you don't believe in yourself, then how is anyone else supposed to believe in you?
Yeah, exactly. I had a
that's true.
Yeah. I had there's a movie that surprisingly you would not expect some powerful or as powerful of a quote as this to come out of. But if you guys haven't seen it, I don't know if you guys have seen it, the movie Mid-90s. Good movie, by the way. Good timepiece movie. There's a scene in that movie where one of the main characters is going through like, just some hard time at home, and is, kind of just down and on himself about shit. And one of the other main characters that's in the movie comes up to him. He sees him like, just sitting on the ground, kind of like, in a pouty kind of state. And he's asking him, what's wrong, like trying to console him just as a friend. And he, kind of tells him what's going on, why he's upset, kind of like a brief version. And so this other character tells him like, hey, look at everybody around you right now. He's like, this kid, whenever we drop him off at home after we're all hanging out at the end of the day, the reason he doesn't stay home is because, his parents beat on him. That he doesn't want to be at home. So he stays out until the ass crack of dawn. So when he gets home, he knows he doesn't have to worry about his parents, abusing him or whatever it may be. There's another character. He goes, this kid, he can't even afford, basic needs like clothes and socks. Like he's like, socks are like something that everybody just assumes you can have. And then he was explaining another kid. He's like, this kid's parents are rich. He lives in a good neighborhood. He hangs out with us. He sees us as normal people. He's a great person. But he just gets fucked up all the time because he's so stressed about his parents thinking he's going to be the same as them, or that or that he's forced to follow the same path as them because they're successful, and he wants to be a skateboarder instead. He doesn't want to do the same thing as them. So you got to look at it from a perspective like, yeah, you might be going through some shit, but would you trade your scenario for what everyone else is going through? Because at the end of the day, it might seem like theirs is easier for you and you're like from your perspective, but at the same time, they might see your shit as like, damn, like you're going through it worse than I am. Like you got to see it from their side as well. Mm-hmm. So you never really know what's going on with people. So, at the end of the day, yes, things might be, rough. And I hate to, say this because I don't like really using that statement, but like it could be worse. Like unfortunately, as unfortunate as it may be for some people, there are worse scenarios than what you might be going through. So,
and I think that kind of comes back to the point, like, if you're in the scenario where you're you've got your career, you've got your health, you've got your family, and you still feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
No matter how many people tell you that you're doing great, you're doing fine, you got your head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
If you still feel like that's more of a point to go get help.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between sadness and depression.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what a lot of people kind of lose. Sadness stems from things that happen in your life.
Yeah.
You lose a loved one, that's sadness.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be sad. Everyone's going to be sad when they lose a loved one.
You might not show it the same way as others, but you're going to feel it in some way.
You lose a job. You lose anything you lose.
Yeah.
That's all falling under sadness. And I'm not trying to invalidate that because those are totally valid feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyone who's going through that, it's going to happen.
Yeah, but you can get through it.
Where it separates from depression, and depression is when you have everything you could have wanted. You think 5 years ago you're at where you want to be.
Yeah.
Whether it be emotionally, financially, whatever it is.
Mm.
You have everything. You've done everything right. Right. I say right very
lightly.
Very lightly because I'm going right by financial, social standpoint.
Yeah.
But you still feel like you're not enough.
Uh-huh.
And it's like it gets to a point where it's like your family can tell you they're proud of you so many times. Mm-hmm. If you have a significant other, they can tell you you're enough so many times.
Yeah. And
you still don't feel that way.
Yeah.
That is the difference between depression and sadness.
Yeah. I think that's a very good description and, like, I guess, picture painted of how, similar they are, but like you said, there is a very, very specific difference to what is what. I would say, and granted, again, like I said, I don't struggle with any form of anxiety or anything like that. So I'm not trying to say this in a way that is diminishing anybody's feeling. What I'm saying is a lot of people, and this is just a thing that most people know, but a lot of anxieties start with things that are, I guess you would say, a sense of almost insecurity type of thing, where it's like, truthfully, that it's all good, but for some reason your brain is telling you it's not. So, and this is just my thinking on it, like how I, go about things and, follow the path that is life. More or less, when it's, a problem or issue or whatever it may be that comes up, my personal attack to it is just get it. Like I said, I've talked about this before, off the podcast, is just to get it out of the way right away. Because a lot of times, and it sucks to do, and for anybody, whether you have anxiety, depression, or anything of that nature, or you don't. But, sometimes taking it on the chin and facing it right away is the best thing you can do. Because I gave you this reference the other day. I talked to Joe about this, and I used it as a reference. Your brain, when it comes to information, can store endless amounts of information. When it comes to stress and things that put, negative energy into your head, it's like a memory card. You only got so much space. Eventually, it's going to catch up to that amount of space, and you're going to have to put it somewhere, and it's either going to come out in a way that, is you being, more anxious or depressed, or it's going to come out as you lashing out and getting, hostile quickly, or whatever, form it takes. So it's like I said, it's very much easier said than done for a lot of people, but your most useful thing that you can do across the board is to try to face it head on as soon as you notice the problem. And sometimes it takes a little time to understand those problems or where it may be. What the cause might come from, what triggers it. But understanding that and learning yourself is the first big thing that you'll do to be able to do that.
Process of being a fucking human being.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even want to say being an adult. It's just something that everyone needs to go through.
Yeah, across the board.
I thought of it in a different way recently, where it's like, when it comes to mental health, you're in an ongoing war.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah.
There's always a war there. So you can take this war and you can split it up into different battles.
Mm-hmm.
And each problem is a different battle. And if you sit here and take this battle and push it away far in your mind, back of your head, and keep going, now when this battle number 2 comes in, you can push that away.
Mm-hmm.
You can push that away. Battle number 3 comes in, battle number 4, and so on forth. But eventually, it's all going to come back to you, right?
Yeah.
You're going to hit battle number 5. And now you're hitting this thing, and you're declining, and now all of this shit comes back.
Yeah.
Battle 4,
now
battle
you got the whole
3,
damn militia chasing you
2,
down.
battle 1. So now instead of facing battle 5
alone,
head on and getting rid of it, now you're facing battle 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And you have all this shit just bombarding you, right? At this point, like I said, it's like a war. You're outnumbered at this point.
Yeah, you got the whole damn force on you.
and this is where it comes to like mental breakdown, where, you might have put on this face and
front.
Battle 1 was nothing.
Yeah.
Battle 2, Battle 3, Battle 4. No, it was all nothing. It was all nothing. Didn't do shit to me. I'm moving forward.
Here comes 5 around the corner.
Here comes 5, right? And it might be something small.
Yeah.
It might be something really fucking small.
Yeah.
Really something that people won't understand. Like, all of a sudden you get all pissed off. All of a sudden you're breaking down. And they're like, oh, this motherfucker's breaking down over this little thing, this little battle number 5 right here. But in reality, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5
stacked.
all hitting you at once.
Yeah.
Because you can only hold off so much.
Yeah.
And like you said, your memory, your brain, it's like a memory card. You can only hold so much.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it hits you at once. And now everyone else outside from an outside perspective thinks you're, oh, whoa, this motherfucker's tweaking this hard out for Battle 5 right here. I push back so much. I say I, because I'm just going to say it. This is a personal experience.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's across the board. It could be personal experience, whatever. Yeah, I feel you.
I know a lot of people go through the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not just this Battle 5 right here.
Yeah.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are now all converging on me because now I have all of this shit, right?
Yeah.
And every time I add a new one in here,
Mm-hmm.
Battle 5, 1 gets pushed a little further, 2 gets pushed a little further, 3, 4, and then eventually they all curve in. And you're like, now you're thinking about all of this.
Yeah. Now you got 1,000
Now you're
problems.
thinking about everything. So you went from, it seems easy to push it away. It seems easy to just ignore it, act like nothing happened.
And it may be for a while.
But you keep doing that, and eventually it's all going to come in on you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Would you rather sit there, right? I'm going to do another analogy here.
Yeah, good. It's like a homework assignment. Imagine skipping all your homework assignments for so long, and you're sitting there like, oh, I could put it off for a couple of days. Then you got another class. They assign another paper. Shit. Now you're like, all right, I'll do that. I'll wait till later tonight. You start playing video games or some shit, wasting time. Now you go to class tomorrow. Another class adds another shit. You're like, now I have 4 papers to write. Instead, I could have just done one at a time. I would have been done with the shit. I don't know. I've been thinking about that for a while, just sitting here thinking about it like that. It's kind of a similar thing.
It's the same way it happens.
Yeah.
But the point is, whether you're going to school or going to work, it's going to happen to everybody.
Yeah.
Keep put it this way. When you keep pushing shit away, you're going into a cave.
Yeah.
You're pushing everything away. I'm hiding in this cave. I feel safe in here, but I got one wolf out here. One wolf comes up. He's waiting. He's praying. He's waiting. And I go, nah, fuck off. Come back another day. Come back another day.
Shoo.
Eventually, I got 2 wolves coming here.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Now there's 2 wolves. Oh, let's push them away. Let's get them out of here. I got 3. I got 4. I got 5. They're all coming at different times, which is what every problem in your life is. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
It comes at different times. So would you rather fight the one wolf? It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
You're going to get torn up a little bit,
but you'll
make it.
Yeah.
And then you'll recover, and then you'll take the second wolf, take him down.
Yeah.
Then you'll take the third and the fourth. But if you're taking on 5 wolves at once,
you're screwed.
You're
screwed, buddy.
You're done. If you push this all away until it comes back on you, 5 fucking wolves, it's over. So my point is, face your problems one at a time. Face them head on. Don't push them away, because the more you push them away, they're going to come back to you.
As insignificant as something might seem sometimes, if it is something that is, I don't want to say this. If it's affecting your mental in some way and you are, struggling with that in some way, whether it's minor or you're like, it pisses you off for a little bit, confront it. There's nothing wrong with trying to solve the problem and, get it out of the way and figure out what's going on. Because like you said, the more shit you pile on, whether it's you have a disagreement with a friend and, you guys let it slide. And then you have another disagreement with the same person. Now you have another disagreement. Now you're boxing each other. Like sometimes, that little bit of, just acknowledging the problem is there is just enough to do it. So I think that's, I don't know. I think that's how I see it. Is like, sometimes tackling it head on, keeping a positive mind about things. I mean, as much as you can. I'm not saying force yourself to be like, yeah, hey, happy, but, it's easier to be in a better mind and better spirits when you're, not stressing about, shit that you've dealt with throughout the day, shit that might have happened a day ago or 2 days ago or whatever it is, because you're able to, hey, here's this obstacle. Instead of trying to backtrack, find a way around it, power through it, get it done, you'll be all right.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like a it's literally like you said, it's like an obstacle course. Like you can choose to backtrack, and go around it, but that's going to take you a lot longer than just facing it head on and going right over it.
Yeah.
It might take some effort to get over it, but that effort that you put in at the time is going to be
Mounds better.
It's going to go a lot longer of a way than backtracking and going around it.
Yeah.
Just tackle it head on, go over it. It's gonna be a lot harder in a shorter time, but in the long run, it's gonna save you a lot of time.
Yeah.
Just like on, you watch American Ninja Warrior, you watch all that shit.
Yeah.
You could find some way around it, but it's gonna cost you
time,
more energy, more time in the long run than it will in the short term. Just put in the effort, get rid of it, and it's done.
A lot of people, as you mentioned it pretty early on, a lot of people see, like, dealing with mental health as, it could be, you're a pussy, like, you can't handle your own health. Like, sometimes, like I said, I don't really have an issue with anything going on in my head. Some people do. So if you are, and you feel like you're in that scenario where it's like, oh, my friends are going to think I'm pussy because, I went to see some therapist or whatever the fuck. Bro, who cares? If your friends think you're a pussy because you went to get help for yourself, them.
They're not your
Respectfully, if somebody goes out of their way to tell you, oh, you got help for yourself, you pussy, like all right, f you, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just suffer? Like, all right, like I don't know. I it's something that sucks. One, because so many people end up going down a path that, whether it's abuse of substance or abuse of themselves, or worst case scenario, self-deleting themselves, it all stems from the same thing, where it's like they feel like they can't go get help because they're gonna get judged or whatever it is, and that shit sucks. So, if somebody who's kind of in that scenario, or you might have, I guess, saw some sort of sign that someone gave that they were going through something like that, just encourage them to, go out and find someone to talk to. Obviously, by that I mean a professional. And if you're that person that's dealing with that, there's nothing wrong with going and trying to help yourself to enjoy life to the best of your ability, to have the best living scenario for yourself. So yeah, definitely go, get your help that you need and figure shit out.
Yeah, I've had friends who've contemplated
Deleting,
ending it all.
yeah,
and it's just, I've seen some of them blossom into people that I am just proud of.
Yeah.
People that they couldn't have thought they would have ever been. At their lowest point in their life, they would have never thought they would be where they're at now. And I love to just see the look on their face when I tell them, like, I shouldn't say love to, but see in their face, they're like, what if you did do that?
Yeah.
What if you did do that?
Like, well, wait, I get what you're saying.
Imagine.
Yeah, you don't mean like, oh, you'd love to see the look on their face if they would have, like, deleted themselves.
Yeah.
But you mean
But
you see that they're happy that they didn't do it.
You need to see how silly that looks.
Yeah, because as much as you might feel like, oh, me not being here is the easiest solution, you got to realize, for you, in that moment, that might seem like the best thing. But your choice, especially something like that where you're not around anymore, affects more than just
Everyone.
you when that happens. That affects everybody you know, your family especially, your friends, even coworkers. It might not seem like it sometimes, but some of your coworkers are just cool with you like that. They may not make it known, but it might still affect them to find out, yo, this guy, like, isn't here anymore. Like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like, you would have never known,
And this is no disrespect to anyone who's gone through with that.
Yeah.
But to me, it's selfish. One of the most
because then it just puts all that pain that you were feeling.
You're not getting rid of it. You're just putting it on.
You're putting it on other people. Exactly. Yeah. You're just passing that exact feeling that you had onto somebody else.
You're passing much worse than whatever you felt, no matter how bad of a situation you're in. When you do that, that is a permanent decision.
Yeah.
That is something that you cannot reverse.
No.
That's something you cannot fix, which anxiety and depression, and
a lot of times leads to
as much as a lot of people don't want to expect or don't want to accept, including myself, it can be fixed.
Yeah.
It can be fixed.
Yeah.
It takes a lot less to fix anything you're going through than it does to fix you being gone for everyone else that cares about you.
Yeah.
Just because you're not relied upon to survive by people, there's still people that rely on you in different ways. In different ways. It's just I think a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah.
And I made it clear on this one. I've gone through anxiety, depression, going through it right now.
Yeah.
Ending it is never an option.
Yeah.
I just know
it's not worth it. It's for in your head, you know it.
Like obviously my family, but like I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah.
It's just
you know what comes with it if you were to choose that.
And I know that I can get through this.
Yeah. With the right people around you, the right support. I think that's the big thing for a lot of people that do end up going through with it is they don't make that initial, try to like make it known that they need not just the help from a professional, but everybody around them to be like, hey, like it's not the route you want to take.
It's a major judgment error to go through with that.
Yeah,
there's always someone.
It's a very sad judgment error to go through. That's what I'll say. I won't say it's because I'm not trying to make it. I don't want to say patronizing, but I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. It's a very it is a very serious thing that happens. Like getting into being that upset with something that it makes you actually go through with ending things is obviously a very serious thing. It's like you said, it's unchangeable. It's permanent. It's
selfish.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's selfish.
It is a very sad, yet very it is very extremely sad. We're not saying it's not sad, just to make it very clear, but it is also, it is a little bit of a very selfish
you will affect
decision.
everyone around you, no matter who you are.
That's so true.
I almost want to record the other one after this because this one's really good. I almost want to do 2 this week again. Not necessarily for the hell of it. We're all sitting here. We're all, kind of still in good spirit talking about it. We're letting out some, important information. Obviously, most of our episodes, like Joe mentioned at the very beginning, they're more about, what's going on in the world. More stuff that, we deal with day to day. We might have a couple stories, hell, a theory even thrown in there here and there. But that's what our podcast is. It's a place where, most podcasts have a topic where it's like, oh, we're telling our life stories and, that's it. We take, which I like very much, is we take stuff that's going on that everybody sees and we give, our take on it as well as, something that we relate to, a personal story or if we've seen something similar or just if we want to bash on it or whatever it may be. So yeah, I think every now and then when we do a serious episode, it is really good. I think down the line when everything's right and we're all in the right situation where this is going good, I would consider it because we do have, if you guys aren't aware, on Spotify we do have a member section. So if you do want to subscribe to that member section, that helps us out. That'll make the podcast get better. But yeah, on Spotify we do have a paid section, so we might start adding stuff to that. You'll get sooner here than later. You'll start getting earlier access to the episodes, so you'll be able to hear them before you see them. Little smart pun there. You'll be able to hear them before you see them. And then, obviously a few days later, we'll drop them on YouTube so that the people who want to pay for that can hear them early, get them out early, and, interact with those earlier than most people. But yeah, I really do like when we do episodes like this every now and then. We had a few of these here and there.
I think it's something.
It's a necessary thing.
It's really important.
Yeah.
It's really important to anyone. I know we're not huge.
Yeah.
But
Yet.
God
We're getting
willing.
there.
I say God willing. I'm not even religious. I don't.
It is what it is. I get what you mean. Still could use the phrase. It still applies.
I still feel like to anyone out there who's going through anything along the lines of what we described in this episode here, get the help.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fucking. I'm sitting here saying this, and
you're in the process of figuring shit out. So
trying to figure it out,
which is fine. And that's the thing. Like, that's how I was surprised when you started to say that at the beginning. I didn't know if you wanted to do the whole thing like that or if you just wanted to talk about it like briefly. But it takes, like I said, especially, again, we already said it, but the first thing for most people is to be able to talk to people they know that they're dealing with the shit. The second thing is to actually act on it and get it, sorted. So I'm gonna get a handshake real quick because we're on a podcast doing this shit, so that's big shit for you.
And just to give a little ending here.
Yeah.
Whether there's one person watching this or hundreds,
100 million,
hundreds of thousands of millions watching this.
Yeah.
This is something that this podcast, this whole thing that we do, at the end of the day, it's a very big outlet for us.
Yeah, it's also
and we both feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, that this is as much as we talk about personal shit between us, there's shit that we talk about that will never go live. This is a very big outlet for both of us to give our thoughts on important things that, sometimes not so important, but things that people can relate to. This is a big outlet for us, so I really appreciate everyone who sticks with us.
For everybody who does, whoever, I agree. For everybody who does watch these or sees the TikTok clips or YouTube shorts or Instagram posts or whatever it is, and you guys are interacting with that, shout out to you guys. Obviously, right now it's like Joe mentioned, we're smaller. We're still in the early phases of it. We've been, trying to figure out how we want to handle the podcast. We've sort of figured it out with the, talking more about, shit that's going on in the world, the social media stuff, and just kind of going off of that and, relating our stories to it, giving our ideas. And I think that, from what I've heard from, just coming across people who have seen it or seeing our comment sections or whatever it may be, people enjoy that because it's shit that they know they've seen, and it's shit that they can understand without having to think too hard. I like I said, I watch a lot of podcasts. I'm all for, everybody's form of content, whether it's the theories or personal stories or, family advice or whatever it is. I've watched anything in between, watched, listened, I've consumed all forms of kind of podcasts from here to the next. So I think where we're at with ours is a little different because there are YouTube channels that talk about similar stuff that we do, but I don't think I've seen a podcast that does what we're doing, where we're talking about social media stuff. Like we always reference, and I always will, Moist Critical, Jamari, and a couple other people that, post similar YouTube videos. But there's a short form, quick to the point, a little bit of it's, sometimes it's a deep dive here and there, and we just turned it into a podcast version.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're just, we're talking about shit that we talk about personally.
Yeah.
And we might leave out details here and there as
just for respect for our own
everyone who's watching this knows it's, we're leaving, we're not giving every detail, but the main reason I wanted to get into this on this podcast and why I feel it's important is I want to give people who feel the way I do a place to relate to.
Yeah, some hope. Yeah.
And like I said it before, I'll say it again, whether it's one person or it doesn't matter how many people it is. I just feel like this is something that needs to be touched on more. Yeah. No matter how many podcasts, no matter how many talk shows do it, it's something that cannot be emphasized enough.
Yeah, it's always going to be around. So,
and I appreciate everyone who's been
supporting and around.
supporting, and anyone who's sat through this whole
Yeah,
spiel that we had.
I think that's everything.
I really just I want everyone to take something out of this.
Yeah.
Whether it's the simplest of problems that can be solved in a second, or the most complex interpersonal problems that you've been dealing with for any amount of time.
Yeah.
I just hope that we can send a good message out there. You know, I know we joke around a lot.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
make a lot of
The last 2 episodes were full of it, so.
but everything we do is with good intention, and we want to help
Yeah.
as many people as we can. So, thanks again for another
Solid episode. Hell
great
yeah.
episode. I think this was
27? Yeah.
27. By far our deepest dive we've gone so far on anything like this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Personally, for me, this is like the most I've opened up
Yeah.
on a podcast.
Yeah, it takes, and like I said, it takes a lot of
Courage.
it's a lot of courage, and that's one, like we mentioned, it's a big part of identifying the problem and tackling it. So again, I don't know if you have any. I think that's everything we got. I don't know if you have anything else you want to go on, or
No, I think I've hit everything I've been
all right.
about,
Okay, so yeah, again, I'll try to find. I mean, I'm sure Joe will know more than I will. He'll be looking shit up as well. We'll leave some stuff down in the comments, or the description for, finding help or whatever, resources you can use to, make things easier for yourself.
There's always a resource for
Yeah.
you, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
Just get help.
Yeah, definitely. If you are dealing with the scenario where you don't know what's going on with yourself, you're having, anxiety or depression or whatever, reach out to someone. And if you're a friend of someone who is dealing with depression, anxiety, or whatever, and you kind of suspect it, reach out to them, make sure they're all right, check on the people around you. Even if they aren't, just, check in on people and make sure people are all right around you. Again, if you're coming back, as we've said multiple times in this episode, thank you for coming back. If you're new and somebody shared this with you, definitely subscribe, come back for more. Most episodes are not like this, but we do have these every now and then where we tackle a topic that we feel is necessary. And follow all our pages down below. We got the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts page. Check those out as well. We got the Finder Sports page that we're going to start tackling into more. This upcoming NFL season is going to start to kick back up for that.
Oh, I like that. Start tackling into.
But yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.